V'hinei sora ubchinas matruniso b'chinas malchus. Sora is in the level of matruniso. That is the level of a queen. The pasuk that we quoted before, the Meyo Shona, the Esrim Shona, the Sheva Shonim, the various different numbers, and we said that 100 was 10 times as much as the which is Chochma Bina, and that was 10 times as much as the Hamshocha that comes through Zoh, and then even less to Malchus, which, I mean, the Zoh is the ones, and then you have the tens, and then you have the hundreds, and then you have the thousands, you have the 10,000. So, but in the pasuk it says, "Vayiyu chaye sora meyor shana." That means that the sora is in the level of meyor shana. So the sora ubechinas matruniso bechinas malchus. Sora is the level of matruniso, which is the level of malchus. Umikoidem nikras sorai. First, she is referred to as Sorai. Sorai would mean Loshen Odin Shali, my master, Sorai, Bli Hispashtus, without expansion. So that means it's still limited to Shali, Odin Shali. And then and then she becomes Soro, which is for all of the world. So first it was limited to being only my master, and then it becomes a master to all the world, which is Malchus Kol Eilam. That the kingdom, the level of Malchus, comes down and becomes a malchus for kol olamin. So kedei liyoisahis pashtus lemato yoiser, in order for it to be expanded even lower, tzorich liyoisaham shocha hakoyach lozeh milamayla yoiser. So you need to bring down the power for that hamshocha coming from a higher place. Nitan lo oishei. So that's why Sorai was given lois hey. Instead of Sorai, she became Sora. That is the power for expanding to the length and the width. So basically, you have Malchus first just for itself. That is the level of Sorai. And then when Sorai needs to be Mashpia later on in Biyah to come down further, then it needs to become Sorah, because that Hey comes from above to give Sorai the Koyach to become Malchus Kol Elomim, that's from the level of Malchus to be Mashpia lower. V'ayin mashekosu b'inyan hey d'Avrom b'dibra maschil hina Avrom chulu v'ayin b'zoyhar parshas Balak daf kuf tzadik aleph omed aleph. So over there it says like this: as the Eidas garmo, it says she's become very small. Umayihu, what is that small yud? That is level yud chulu. Ad till over there it says further in the Zohar is banias. Once it gets built, the is avidas, and it gets made chulu, hey, then it becomes the hey, like it was before. So basically, it shows you that the letter yud is the letter of tzimtzum. That's the level of becoming small, as Eidas garmo. That's when the level of malchus, like when the moon, which represents malchus, becomes small. And then when it gets built up till it gets full, that becomes a hey, kimel kadmin, ein shom, v'nizbayir b'mokim achar. Mizeh yuvon inyan sorai b'yud v'sorai b'hei. From this we can understand the idea when we have sorai with a yud, and we have sorai with a hey. The yud is when sorai is in the level of tzimtzum, and the hey is when sorai is expanded to get that extra hey. Hine says chaye sora. This is the pasuk where we talk about the various different numbers. So chaye sora, it says vayu chaye sora meyashana. So therefore chaye sora umibchinas, that is from the level of meyo. That is the level of meyo. Level of meyo. 100. This is also the idea that we say chayiv odom levorich meyo brachas b'chol yom. A person is obligated to make 100 brachas every day, because this is the idea of the meyo of the chayi sora. That's the same idea level of meyo. And Velochin Amru Razal, that's why our sages say, Al Tikra Ma Elameyo. The Gemara says on the Pasuk, Va'ato Ma Hashem Elekecha Shoyu Mi'imoch. The Gemara says not Ma, but Meyo. The Eibishter wants us to make the Meyo brachas. Al Tikra Ma Elameyo. The Hainu. What does this mean? Shaha Malchus Nikra Ma. Nikras Ma. Malchus is called Ma. And then this is tikra ma, because that's what mibchinas meyo, and you draw down into it from the level of meyo shuhu b'chinas keser, which is level of keser. 100 is keser, and ma is malchus, and because when we want it should be from ma to be mashpia lower, ma has to get the extra hey, it has to get the meyo, has to get the name Sorah in order to be Mamshich. So that's why it's no longer Ma, but it becomes Meya. Shekidei liyas ispashtus lemato. In order for it to be expanding below, tzorich liyas hamshocha milmaylo kinau, it has to be a coming down from above, like mentioned earlier. Okay, so how high does the hashpah come from? This hamshocha is only from the level of meyo, not higher than meyo. Avol b'chinas ha'toiro shorsho hu b'chinas rivivois. Here we're talking about the level of meyo is the level of keser, is the level that comes down to malchus, which is the level comes down to Sorah. But by the Torah, we say also merivivis kodesh. That's the pasuk that we're quoting over here in Zaysa Bracha, that the Torah's root comes from the level of revavis, 10,000, which is much higher than the mayor. Shalomailo mibchinas madregas mayor, which is much higher than the level and mayo. So over there, it's a level also merivos. Vizahu inyan merivos kodesh. That is merivos kodesh. This is in order for Torah to be able to bring down all the mitzvahs in the dvorim gashmim. Mishom davke yuchal lahamshich related gam lamata b'dvorim gashmim. From there, you can able to draw down and to descend also below into physical matters like sukkah, utfilin, chulu. So, in order for malchus to come down, you need the level of keser, level of meya. But in order for the Torah to come down in physical matters, over there you need to come from the level also merivivish, because the level of revav. Ayin mashakosuf soiv dibra hamaschel hinei Abraham. The Soif Dibra Hamaschil, the A, Reyach Beni, Kireach Soda, Va'ay Mashakosu, Bedibra Hamaschil, Hazinu Hashomayim, Be'inyan tizal katal chulu kirvivim ali Esav. So over there is also the word revivim comes from the lashon of Marbovat, same idea, same shoresh. So asher revivim zo inyan hamshacha mibchinas revivis kodesh. It says revivim ali Esav. That is the hamshacha from the level of revivis kodesh. So basically, Chaye Yisora Meyeshana, that's the level of Keser to bring down Malchus in Bia. And in order to bring down the Torah into Gashmi, the Kemitzvahs, it comes to the level of Rivav. Rives Kodesh. Also, Rives Kodesh. Behainu, Ki Chaye Yisora, Shu Inyan Ispashtus Chayus Oilamas. Because when we talk about Chaye Yisora, which is the idea of Ispashtus Oilamas, such as the Pasuk says, Ve'ata Mechayes Kulam, or Malchus Cho Malchus Kol Ilamim. Hashem gives life to everything. Or Hashem's Malchus is the Malchus of Kol Ilamim. Hine, Shoyresh Hamshocha Zu, the root of this Hamshocha to come down to that level is Nikra, that's called Yichud Chitzonius, the Chochma Ubina. That is a union of the externality of Chochma Ubina, which is Ayin V'yesh. To connect the level of Ayin with Yesh, the level of Chitzonis of Chochma Ubina, Avala Idei Torah Mitzvahs. So that's the Yichud of, they're both Yichud of Chochma Ubina that brings down lower the level of Torah. But normally when it comes to Malchus only, when it comes to Malchus only, you with me? I don't know how long I missed you for a while.
I missed you a couple, for some reason my phone stopped.
Avala de Torah mitzvahs nimshach mibchinas yichud pnimi v'chochma bina. Over there comes the inner yichud of chochma bina. Sheshoyresh hamshocha zu, the root of that hamshocha is mibchinas atik ve'ein sof mamish. That comes from the level of atik and ein sof mamish. Al derech zeh yesh leimar. And we can also say similar to this idea of bringing down from the higher level, from the level of Atik, Inyan, Marav Tufcha, the idea of Marav Tufcha, Asher Tzofanto L'Reyecha. Rav is from the Lashon Revova that we're talking about, so that you get the level of Rav, Ki Rav Revova Inyan Echad. It's one thing. So that's Sofanto L'Reyecha means that it comes from this higher level of Atik. Also the Pasuk says Rav Paulim, also the Lashon Rav, Lashon Revava. V'ayin Mashekosu Val Pasuk Zecher Rav Tuvcha Yabiyu. So over there is also the Lashon of Rav. So over there it says Yisoid the Arich Anpin. Over there it says that the Yisoid of Arich Anpin, the level of Yisoid is called the Mashpia. So the Yisoid of Arich Anpin, the Hainu B'chinas Hashpa, Nikra Rav Tuvcha. That is called, the Yisoid of it is called the Rav Tuvcha, and that's why that's why the first generation from Adam Arishon until Noach Herichu Yomim B'Yoser, they had a long, very long life because they came from the level of Arich Ampin, the level of Rav Tuvcha. V'hainu l'fisha nimshach oz mibchinas Arich Ampin. because then it was extended from the level of Arich Ampin. But afterwards, later on it says, then it's going to be Meyo ve'esrim shana. Over there also just the level of Meyo, which is not the level of Rav, not the level of Revava, not the level of Mor, but the level of Meyo. Because that Yuvan, also from all this we can understand Gamkin Inyan Rav Shloim Banoich. What is the idea of Rav? Also Shloim Banoich. Hasholim B'div B'chulu B'div Ramas B'chol B'nayich is explained there. Im kol ze Hagilu Yivham Shocha Ato Ayidei HaTorah B'bchinas Revava. Now, notwithstanding that we get from the level of Torah, we get from the level of Revava this revelation. This Hamshacha that comes now through Torah from the level of Revava is but yet, and we said that that's the level of also, that's the level of Pnimis. Yichud Pnimi said before, but it was not Hurak also Loshen Targum. It says also, while we get it, but we use the language of the Targum's translation, not like Ubo. Ubo would be the Hebrew word instead of the also. So we use the Loshen of the also, which is the language of the Targum. And Targum Shuhu B'chinas Achurayim, which is the level of back, behind. So it's not direct. So while we get the level of Rivav is Kodesh, but we get it in the way of also, we get it in the way of Targum, in the way of the back. Kitayim Torah Shu Pnimisa Torah, because the reasons for Torah, which is the inner part of Torah, Loin Nizgala Adayin, has not yet been revealed. This is going to be in the future. Zehu Inyan Shenemar. In the future, we'll get the Pnimius, we'll get the Torah the way in its full levels, but that's going to be in the future. It says in the Pasuk, Yishakeni Menishikis Piu. He will kiss me with the kisses of his mouth. The Knesset Yisrael say the Eibishter will kiss us with the Knesset, with the kiss of his mouth. It's Bechinas Neshikin. That is the level of a kiss. Is his Dapkus Rucha Berucha. That is the cleaving, the connection of spirit to spirit. Bechinas Hevel. That's in the level of ears, who is Galus Pnimis Taimater. Then will be the revelation of the inner reasons of Torah. That will be not Ve'oso, not Aramaic, but that will be a Hevel behevel. That would be the ear, the mouth to mouth. Get directly in a level of Nishikin, in a level of revelation of the Pnimius inside. The Hevel comes from the inside, which is the revelation of the Pnimius HaTorah. Abel Ato, but right now, Hurak B'Bchinas Achurayim. Right now it's Achurayim, but also Hulu. Also, it comes down to Kamosh Mavuher Barichas Pasuk Teretziva, as explained in length in the Pasuk Teretziva. That's why it says further in the Pasuk, but also Meriviv is Kodesh. Then it says Zorach Meseir Lamoy. Zorach Meseir Lamoy Shurak B'Chinas Cyrus. That Zorach Meseir means that it gets only in a way, in a level of Cyrus, which is Moishrei Mechen. Cyrus means it's sort of the leftover of the Mechen. The hairs of a person, for example, are not directly connected with the moichin, but only with leftover of the moichin. That's why you can cut the hair and the person doesn't feel any pain, as opposed to cutting a part of the body. Over there, it's connected directly. But when we say the hair, it means that it's only a leftover. It's sort of external. Kenoide begashmis is known physically. Shahasaitis einom mehus hamoyach. It's not from the essence of the moyach. Shechoitchin oisoi einom argish klau, because you can cut the hair and it doesn't feel at all. Ukmoikein l'maylo, and likewise above. Also, this is also like the here. We call it the Neuvles Chochma Shalamayla is Torah. The leftover of Chochma above is Torah. So Torah is like the hears of the Chochma of Hashem, but it's not the essence of the Mahuz. That's the Pnimis HaTorah that will be in Iskala in the future. But right now, we don't have the level of the essence of Torah. We only have the Neuvles of Chochma. We have the Cyrus of Torah. So he says, V'ef Shalem Gamkein. We can also possibly say, Shezehu Inyan Gimel Madreges. This is the three levels that we have: Bracha, Kedusha, and Yichud. So we know the word Maver Yabik. Yabik is Yud Beis Kuf, but we have the level of Bracha. By Yaakov it says Bracha, and we have the level of Kedusha, and we have the level of Yichud. It's going to explain. B'hainu. Ki Bracha Zeu Inyan Meye Bracha. So Bracha is 100, because there's 100 Brachas. Ubchinas, that's the same level of Ayu Chayi Sara Meyoshana. Now, this is like we said before. Okay. Uinyan HaBracha, what is the idea of Bracha? Ubchinas Va'ata Mechayis Kolom. The Bracha is that you vitalize everything, and the level of Malchus comes down to vitalize everything. That is the level of Bracha, which comes from the level of Meyoshana, from Keser down to Malchus. Aval Kedusha, but Kedusha, who am Shocham, B'chinas Merivis Kodesh. But there is Kedusha is also Merivis Kodesh. That's why it's the level of Kedusha. Al Yidei, through what Asher Kedushanu b'mitzvaysof. The Eibishter made the level of Kedusha, Rivis Kodesh, Kedushanu. That's the Kedusha in mitzvahs. Shu Hamshochas Soiv Kulama, which is Hamshochas Soiv Kulama. So that is the two levels, the level of Bracha and Kedusha. What's the level of Yichud? Because this is only, but still, this level is only the level Kedushin who adayin. Kedushin who adayin rak b'chinas erisin. When you betroth, it's only the level of erisin. Who b'chinas va'osa. That is the level of va'osa, like we said before, in a level of Aramaic, which is not direct, which is not full. So that's the level of va'osa. But then you have the level of yichud. That's already marriage. That's already a full connection. That's the level of pnimius. That's going to be lost in love, but that's the level of yichud. Gam yesh loimar. We can also say, explain what's the level of yichud. Ki hine yesh rivais kodesh. That there is the level of rivais kodesh, also by rivais kodesh. Avol im kolze the ma'ilom who bechinas much higher than that. This is still, it's a big number. It's rivais, 10,000s, but there is a higher level which is not numbered at all, which is an uchad v'loy b'chushban, that there is no cheshban at all, which is zehu inyan yichud. That's the idea of yichud. The hainu, that is lahamshich gilui. That is to bring down the revelation of the Ein Sof Baruch Hu, who is only Yochid and Miyuchad, which is Chad v'lo b'chushban. He's one without a cheshbon. Liyes v'nigla kvei davaya chulu. That there shall be revelation of the glory of Hashem, ayin ba'ayin yiru. So that's talking about the higher level. That's the level of Yichud, which is the level of not numbered at all. That's loy b'chushban at all. Ayin be'pardes be'erech yakinuyim be'erech yabik, over there in the pardes, in the erech yabik, and as I said before, yabik is the yichud bracha and kedusha. The Rosh Meira is gimel sif samach vav u'beis yud sif chav gimel u'brayim hem nepashas mishpatim daf kuf yud vav soif omid aleph and kuf yud tes aleph. With Parshas Pekudei, Daf Reish Samach Beis Aleph, Ubaramas Parshas Teitze Daf Reish Ayin Zayin Aleph B'dibur Hamaschil Umevorech Bo. V'ayim Hashekosu B'zeh Seif Dibur Hamaschil L'inyan HaNesochim. V'ayim Hashekosu V'ed Me'inyan Bracha U'Kedusha Al Pi Mashekosu B'zeh Cheli Gimel Parshas Bolok Daf Kuf Tzadik Beis Amud Beis B'Posik Baruch Hu Hashem Malochov. So over there it's interesting. So what does it say over there? There's a difference between bracha and kedusha. By the level of bracha, we say Baruch Hu Hashem Malachim Cholu. The malachim are able to bench Hashem. Aval Kodesh, but when they say Kodesh, lo yismaser loin bil chudayu. It has not been given over to them by themselves. That they themselves cannot do the level of bracha. Elo b'hadi Yisrael, only together with the Yidden. When the Yidden say Kodesh, 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 we have to, first the Yidden have to say Kedusha. So the level of Bracha, the Malachim can do on their own, and this is they need the Yidden to do the Kedusha. And the Gemara, it's mentioned the Inyan, also Merivavis Kodesh, also Merivavis, this is what we're explaining over here. So the Gemara, it's in Chagiga Daf Tezayin Amud Aleph. So the Gemara says also, the Gemara says Ois Hu Berevava Shaloi. Also comes from the Lashon Ois. The Gemara Chagiga says it's a letter, one letter of the Eberster. Hashem's name is in the 10,000 of the Revava, and all the angels and all the multitude over there is one letter. So Yeshloimar Apirush, what is the meaning? Shenemar, like Kinyan Mamer Azal, but rabbis say that Miketz Parshas Tzadik, Parshas Tzadik. Over there it says like this: Kedoshim to you. The pasuk says you should be holy. So he says Yochel Komoini. Maybe you might think it's like the kedusha of the Eibishter. Talmud Loimar. That's why the pasuk says though Ki Kodesh Ani. That it's Hashem is kedusha. I am holy, which means that kedusha si l'maylam kedushaschem. My holiness is greater than yours. When his Mamer is makom achar, explained elsewhere. So similar we can say in our case. The idea of Rivavais Kodesh, that's the level of Kedoshim Tiyu. That's the level also by Rivavais Kodesh, there's a level of Kedoshim. So Torah can bring down that level of Kedusha. This higher level of that is the highest Kedusha, which is beyond the Kedusha, and that's this is also higher and higher than the level of Rivas Kodesh. That's Oisi, as he says, Oisi be Mitzvokishalai. Because this is one not a cheshbon, but derech zanemar litfnose and mispar. So there is no counting over there. That's the level of the Kedushosi. That's the Oisi. That is the Gabe Dover. She'en begeder mispar. Something which is not defined by numbers, shovim harivavis im hachedim. So 10,000 with thousands, tens is the same thing because it's bligvul. The gabi no unlimited number, something which is not defined by number. Which number, the highest number and lower number, don't make a difference. They're all the same. Zohu ba'atik yomin Yosef. This is what it says in the pasuk. Atik yomin Yosef. Aleph alufim yishamshuni v'ribu rivav kadmoy yikumun. That before me, aleph aluf v'ribu kadmoy yikumun, meaning that this is a large number of the thousands in the ribu rivav. That before Hashem, there's it means there's ein mispar. That is not the Surman, the Eibishter is ein mispar. Zehu inyan oisu b'toich rivvis kodesh. Us that oisu is one ois the rivvis kodesh. The Gemara Chagiga says, but Abbas Shira Shirim Sham Ba'ayin oid inyan also b'rivvis b'zoyer chelik beis and Shmeis Gimel Aleph and Truma Kuf Lamed Aleph Amud Aleph. Okay, so this, let me just,
Mamer number 1.